Dear Thor, I have wanted to rank up forever, but I have been stuck in Masters for probably 20 seasons. Lately I have kind of given up on Genji and been grinding my Tracer, but it is incredibly difficult to find good positions and have good timing. Oftentimes there's a Cassidy or Hawk or another one-shot hero that completely denies any flank angle that I can take. I could of course also work with my team, but then I'm useless and we just lose the fight. It feels like if I don't get a good flank going and get a couple of kills, we don't win the fight. How can I get more effective when my team sucks? Or do I? Rank 3500. Name Noah. Hero Tracer. Alright, let's take a look at what you're doing. So we're playing on Eichenwalde, and if I look at the team, right, we're playing with Orisa Sigma, Hanzo Baptiste and Break. So right away, it is unlikely that you get a lot of resources to dive in. Right? Normally, obviously, Tracer is the character that wants to dive in and burst somebody down. But with this team, it is really unlikely. What is more likely is that the team wants to control the angles, control the flanks, and basically shoot at enemy team from range. Like we want to delay an engagement in some sport or other as long as possible. So what can you do? What is your job to help us accomplish this? I mean, basically what you can try to do is to secure one area, secure one flank where the enemy team is not able to push through, or at least where you put some troubles, right? Like imagine like if the, just zoom out. If one side of the team is shooting from here and the other from here, which is perfect because, for example, a Reinhardt can only shield one side, and if we shoot them from the other side, this one, we'd get even more resources out. So your job is to make sure that this is happening. So how can you do this? Or like what will most likely happen that enemy team tries to deny it? McCree, Soldier, or like anybody else tries to maybe like flank around here, right? Contests here, contests the Hanzo or whoever shoots from there. And you want to make sure that this duel is basically happening in our favor. So either you position yourself somewhere here and delay this push, or at least help your Hanzo to win it, right? Or like make it like favorable. The most important thing that is that you don't die, because you will not have any resource and we cannot really give you the attention that you normally need as a Tracer when you dive in. So as long as you don't die and make sure that our team can keep shooting from range, this is perfect. And obviously, if you see opportunities to finish off the kills, this is like guaranteed, right? Like you want to finish off the kills, like if the Hanzo gets a shot off, somebody is low HP, then you can blink in, get the kill, and normally recall out, or get out to safety somehow. So they're pushing now the right side, so the Reinhardt and Zaya are pushing there. You obviously cannot really delay them. So I think it's fine that you just say, okay, like I can really not really delay the right side, but maybe I can do something on the left side. So putting yourself here on the left side, taking care of the McCree, or at least, you know, distracting him. Most importantly, that you don't die, you play really defensively. And now you have a great another angle to kind of be annoying, right? So the problem now is that we are in a really bad position. Like we already lost the Hanzo, they already pushed the point. The Ryan Zarya is in this close range engagement that we don't want to have. So we are basically in a disadvantage. And what you can do to now help us get out of there, or like what you can do as a response, is either you run away. This is always the first option, to just say, hey, we just give this point up. Obviously, it doesn't really happen because, I mean, point is contested. We don't want to just run away. Second thing is that we want to invest. So invest ultimates, additional resource, something like this. We don't have something like this. We don't have ultimates right now. So you want to do the third option, and this is kind of taking some risk. Because the only way we can win this fight, or at least get into a like even state, getting out of this disadvantage, is if we take some risk. So how do you take risk? It's basically just use, yeah, more cooldowns. You basically engage now more directly into the enemy team. So even though you have, for example, no recall right now, which is only a symbol of like, hey, I want to stay more defensively, you should most likely still look for aggressive opportunities, even though this obviously involves more risk of you dying. Because dying faster is no problem, but having a chance of winning the fight maybe also. And maybe also you decide like, hey, this is not a moment where I want to take more risk because my team can still follow up on this, would be also an option. Let's see what you do. Really nice how you follow up there on the pull from Orisa. And yeah, you get a kill, right? Great. Obviously now, like, focus on Zaya is not the best. Better would be in Baptiste, all like who's behind. Like same thing here, right? You attack the McCree and so on. Like, why attacking the McCree? Like, it is the hero who gets kind of pocketed from both sides. Like, it's would be so much easier if we just basically engage here on the Baptiste behind, because Baptiste cannot heal themselves. Like, only the Mercy can heal him, but it's still better than attacking a Zarya or a McCree, because then 2 healers can obviously heal him, and they have defensive abilities. So yeah. But other than this, was a nice follow-up on the Soldier. So we skip ahead a little bit. We just lost the fight, and yeah, basically we're regrouping and coming out of spawn to get the next one. So in this downtime, either you're dead or in this case you survived. What you normally want to do, you want to think about, what is my job? Like, rethink what do you want to do in the next fight, because every time it's a different situation. Like right now, we have ultimates, so, and they don't. Obviously, let's say you don't have the full tracking, but you at least know, like last fight I used ultimates, they most likely don't have that many. So, and you can always see obviously what ultimates we have. So in this case, you say, we are basically right now in an advantage, right? Like, we most likely have ultimates, we are coming out of this fight and hopefully use them actively. So how can you kind of arrange yourself is basically for you, okay, like I don't have to do much anymore. Like, my job is, let's say, not less important, but is less less deciding. So as long as you don't fail, as long as you don't feed and just do stupid stuff, it's fine. But still, your job is the same, right? You want to secure the area, you want to make sure that our Sigma can go out, our Hanzo can kind of use this dragon directly and so on. And obviously you want to finish up kills. So what I don't like here is that you kind of just hide, right? You're going for this killing style tracer. But nobody will help you on this killing style tracer. It would be way more effective if you just, if you make sure that this team is not looking into the front, because there's like, this is what kills them. Like, our team and the ultimates that we use is the one that kind of really get the damage done. It's not like you are the ones that kind of go for the final blow. It would be so much better if, for example, the McCree is looking at you, or maybe even the Zarya is looking at you in this moment, because this gives our team more room to push up and do the stuff. So important thing is here really like that you always think about what is your job, and your job against with this kind of team comp is not to be the second one, basically to follow up on things. You're the one that opens up options. And you don't have to kill the McCree, you don't have to do anything, but as long as you make sure they look at you, right? Or like you are knowing they are aware that you're there, then this is way better than you just hiding and basically letting the team engage in a 5-4-6. So obviously, because we still have ultimates, this goes really well. And you also almost killed the Baptiste there. You hide from the Soldier. Nice angle that you take here, right? Like a really defensive one in a way that you cannot get attacked from the Soldier. This was great. But like the mechanical aspect there was great in the fight, but the decision making, depending on the ultimate, was not so much. So now next fight, same question you should ask yourself: what is my job? How do I help? Obviously now you don't have a McCree anymore, so you can be even more active on the sides, right? But even here, like the position that you take already to do your job, and your job is distracting, your job is to secure angles, is not the right one. Like, nobody cares about this position here. Like, normally your Hanzo should stay here, not you. So what you want to do is you basically put yourself in a way more advantageous position, like this one here, where you have like the close range, right? It's more like the range that the Tracer wants to fight in, and at the same time, normally your team controls this spot. So you can still get healed from the Zenyatta, the Mercy has an eye on you, and even if you like then blink away here in this direction, like nobody can really actively follow you. Because imagine the whole team like follows you and tries to kill you. I mean, they get just attacked from your team, right? Like you can always, like your team should always have an eye on you on range compared to them who have to stay together. So let's speed this up a little bit, and you see that the Soldier is coming there. So maybe a question for the chat, or like for everybody who's watching, because obviously it's not Twitch chat, like it's the YouTube comments. Do you guys think it's a good decision to go in the Soldier here, or should the Tracer basically wait and help more the team? Comment now what you think about this. Let's see the interaction going. You're going with the Tracer, the Soldier. What was this for recall? Have you forgotten that you have, like, you had ammo, right? Like, yeah, you reloaded. And here we're just like, I mean, the decision between left click button and ultimate, I guess. No, you just recall. Sorry, like this interaction makes no sense. Like, I don't know, like either you just already start here and say, hey, I want to I want to use my ultimate to kill the soldier. So you just start here where he doesn't see you, where he's not aware, where he cannot avoid your pulse bomb as good. Right, you shoot him, and now basically you blink behind him and you're immediately stuck. This would be option 1. Or you say, hey, I don't have to really kill him quickly because my team can help me way easier than enemy team. Like, look at them. Like, they can help you so much better than this team can help the soldier. So you don't have to kill him quickly. You can just say, hey, I just forced now the healing field. So I will just now blink behind the payload, reload, and make sure that like obviously, right, you don't want to burst him down through the healing field. Okay, then you just basically stay here, reload, and wait until his healing field go out. Or if he pushes you, I mean, then he cannot get healed. Like, this would be the second option. And the third option that you have is that you just shoot at him like you did and try to burst through this shield, through this healing field. Alright, so basically you reload here and just, I mean, keep shooting. It's as simple as this it is. Yeah, but you just recall completely unnecessary. Normally you want to use the recall as a defensive measure against Relix Rocket. Right? It's the same way you kind of play against McCree in the sense of when is he using his flashbang, and when is he using or when are you using your recall. Yeah, and what are you doing afterwards here? Like, okay, and he just ults. This sucks. Like, what was this whole sequence? Like, right, you get the kill of the soldier, and you just say, okay, my job is done. I'm just going. Like, it feels like you're completely AFK for the rest of the fight. Right, like, strange interaction, fine with this. Like, you heal up, okay, but now, how about you just at least look around, like, where your team is, right? Like, I would just at least, like, okay, like, what's going on? Like, look around, okay, my team is here. And obviously I also have sound, like I hear that something is happening in this area. So most likely I will just kind of turn around and see how can I kind of help my team. You already know they have no McCree anymore, so the one-shot potential is not there. So I would at least like poke a little bit here, see what they're doing here. Maybe then go behind here, see, okay, like if they actually push into my team, which is normally what they want to do with a Ryan Zaya, I can kind of be annoying here again and I kind of delay their push. But instead you just, yeah, don't even look what's happening, you just walk away. Obviously here this is nice, but it's not like you did something good, it's just Echo fell into your hands. And then again you look for the engagement here in the soldier, but this, like the way you engage or the way you kind of try to get to the soldier is in such an open space. Like you have to blink at least twice or 3 times to get there. Like before this was way better, where you just stayed at the high ground, right? There was no blink involved until you get there, so you had a lot of resources. Where you can just like blink around, right? You blink like one blink, then another blink, then I think another blink. You had like 3 blinks left, and that's why you most likely won this engagement. If you engage now like this, or like look for engagement like this, I mean, then you will reach him here and get into your best case, like in your close range area, and the soldier has all the abilities still ready. But no, other way, you don't have any abilities anymore. So obviously this sucks. Yeah. Then again, like you just kill the Zaya because she walks in front of you. And after this, you're not really present at all. You shoot now a Reinhardt. Exactly what I wanted to say instead of finish by beast. And yeah, the fight is already over. So here we're just basically like not existent. Like, yeah, I don't know what to say to this. Alright, we make another skip to the attack right now. And obviously your team can now change, right? You play with a ball and with a diva. And basically it means, okay, like your objective can, like, what's my job in this case? You can now play way more this killer aspect style of Tracer, right? Like going for the dive. Because obviously the ball and the Tracer, the ball and diva, they want to make space for you. So they give you another resource. Like right now the team can play, or like you can kind of take the resources that they give you and be more effective, be more aggressive also. And you just want to do the same thing as you always do in a dive. First thing is you want to scout, like scout a target. The second thing is you want to stage, like position yourself so you can follow up on this dive with one movement ability. And the third thing is you want to obviously dive and kill, where the timing is most important. So basically I like it here already, that you like you look for basically a target that you want to engage on, to go with your ball, and you also position yourself, okay, like how can I get to this target the best way. Now your ball is going in, so you should follow up on him. But you take the duel with the McCree, okay? I mean, again, like, movement mechanics and so on is not a burst. Like, I mean, your ball is rolling in. He kind of gives you a whole, like, he gives you an opportunity, and you just say, no, I just don't do anything. And you just take the dangerous kind of route with the McCree. Like imagine you would actually help the ball and follow up with him, right? Like imagine here, you are somewhere around this area and attack the Mercy. She would be dead. Or if you maybe help to kill the Ashe. Obviously healer is always better, as we discussed before. But yeah, and it's not like, obviously, yeah, sure, the McCree is not like blocks your path here. But the ball already kind of opens in space for you. It's not the best thing for sure, right? You're not really in position to dive this Mercy or the Ashe that well. But right now with this, everybody is looking at the ball. Like the full enemy team is looking at the ball. And you could just basically use now, like go behind him and use kind of like, I don't know, like one blink, see how it's going. If the ball is attacking, then it's another blink. Again, not ideal, obviously, would be so much better if you are already here, but you cannot always know because I'm pretty sure the ball was not communicating with you. But the thing is, it's so much more important in these cases that the timing is correct and that you deal some damage instead of kind of looking for always the best position. Because again, you don't have to deal like 200 damage on this Mercy. As long as you deal like your, let's say 50 damage, at the same time where your ball is attacking, like job done, Mercy is dead, right? Like the timing is so much more important than you being mechanically gifted and, I don't know, solo killing everybody. Then you just attack the McCree here and like, fight against him. It's just, like, I don't know how to explain it to you. Like it's the same thing if you would climb a mountain and then the ball who's climbing with you is like throwing you from top like a rope. So you can just climb easier. And you just say, no, I don't want to take this rope. I will just like climb on my own. And then when you're on the top, you say, yeah, this was difficult. Like climbing all the mountain like was super difficult. Like, of course, like it's difficult fighting a McCree like alone without somebody present. Because, I mean, he has flashbang on all his one-shot abilities. Or like his one-shot potential. But instead of like, why don't you just kind of take the rope from the ball, go with him, even if it's not ideal. But then, even if the McCree then comes to you, right, obviously defends this Mercy, there's a ball between you and the McCree. So then it's way easier to actually get something done. So yeah, a little bit questionable your judgment here with the McCree. And also like looking at a complaint, the follow-up not the best. So we just skip ahead. They lost the fight, and we're basically looking for the second one. Again, right, like completely the same thing happened, like nobody ultimates are like ready now, so the job and your kind of fought for like decision making should be the same. Going in, looking for a nice follow-up position. Looked like you had a ball in the end, but okay, you position yourself. But again, they attack the Mercy now, but you're alone, and you die. Obviously, unfortunately, you die against McCree, but you just like your eyes on the wrong thing. Like you're already here, like you're standing now with your team, but obviously, as we discussed before, this path through the whole team is the worst you can do. What you should try to do is always doing like something like this or doing something like this. And if you then meet the McCree here, you say, look, here's McCree, this sucks. Okay, then you have to like kind of take the bullet and go with the ball. But you should always kind of try it. So instead of like waiting here looking for an engagement, how about you immediately kind of try this and then you're ready for this dive. Or you say, yeah, okay, my team is going here, my team is pushing here, the enemy team is basically looking in this direction. So how about I immediately kind of take the other side and go from here or like go from there. Right? And then this is the first thing of your like positioning. You don't really get ready for the dive. And the second thing is like, where are you looking at? You're looking at the diva. Like, you know that the ball is the one that engages for you, right? Like, and your ball is already in. Like, your ball already rolled. I can just show it to you. Right? Your ball is like was waiting here, and now we kind of made this engagement to the Mercy. Look at this, Mercy again, almost dead. We just need 50 damage. Like, I'm not expecting you that you always deal like 200 damage or that you, I don't know, have always best position. Like, if you just use, even from this position, if you just like blink once, let's say here, blink again and blink a third time, right? And just like some shots and a melee and the Mercy is dead. Like, it's so much more important that you are there when the ball engages than being like always like, yeah, than being in the perfect position all the time and doing like all the amount, like the same amount of damage. So yeah, the priority from where your eyes are like is just not the right one. All right, let's summarize a little bit. So I have to say that your mechanics are actually kind of decent. Like, obviously there are some problems with your recalls and so on, and some also blinks that you do too much. I mean, we discussed it before. But overall, like aiming and so on, movement especially is okay. My major problem is that you don't really understand the win condition that your team is playing for, that your whole kind of composition revolves around. And it's not always obvious, but you need to make sure that you think about it and then kind of pick one direction that you want to go and try it out if it works or not. So, and because of this really bad understanding, your decision making is just not the right one. Like sometimes you try to kill and go second when nobody helps you, and the other time you take duels and fight for space when a team kind of engages, right? Like, yeah, make sure that you kind of are more coherent in what your team is providing you and then kind of helping. So to the question, is your team the problem or is it maybe you? And I have to say, like, the team is trying to throw you the rope, you just don't take it. So that's not their fault. Like, I'm sorry, my friend, but you suck. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and we see us in the next one. Bye bye.